Like me, as many of you know, I am a huge fan of the real boss of 10 Downing Street. Not Keir Starmer, no, not Rachel Reeves, oh, no, not even the deposed Angela Rayner, but of course this chief mouser, Larry the Downing Street cat. And as many of the chums know who watch this channel on a regular basis, I love Larry simply because he's the mainstay. When you go there, you kind of like, you do look round for him and everything like that. But as the Met Police tell me, you know, who look after him and feed him and give him all sorts of treats and stuff, he's not very much sort of a friendly cat, more of a sort of on the job permanently. And who can blame him? I mean, let's be honest, he's seen them come and go, hasn't he? Liz Truss, David Cameron, Theresa May, Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak. I mean, you know, you must wake up in the morning and think, who's feeding me today? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Must be looking like that. But of course, when we think about Larry, we think about him, the most famous feline, if you like, but literally in the country. And I don't know whether you could possibly say in the world, across the Commonwealth, around the world, a lot of diplomats and, you know, big chiefs that come to visit 10 Downing Street all want a picture. I remember one dignitary, I can't say who actually, but didn't want to leave until Larry had been found to get a picture. And, you know, there was this sort of like Keir Starmer standing there like, anybody know where he is? Because he wanted to get on, but obviously the diplomat wanted Larry and Keir in the picture. I don't know why, I would have just stuck with Larry, but there you go. It's interesting though, because while we think of him and Palmerston, of course, who's now retired, another mouser from the diplomatic offices of Whitehall, well, there were other famous felines that you may have forgotten about. And I wanted to share this with you just in case, because I was talking to somebody at one of London's oldest railway stations who literally remembered the fact that they had another very famous cat at Paddington. Oh yes, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. Nice to have your company. I just got to tell you, between you and I, right, there's a couple of squirrels just come behind. I'm a bit nervous because ever since somebody said to me that if they think you've got food in your pocket, they'll run up your trouser leg. And I thought, it's all very well, but how do you get them down? Do you see what I mean? I know, it's all very well, you giggling sat there, but I'm a bit of a bag of nerves here, actually. Anyway, let's get on with your story of the day. Yes, now, cats, famous cats. Well, not only was there Larry and Palmerston, but there were these two as well. In fact, the first one was a very big and famous cat out at the post office here in the United Kingdom in London. Out at the main post office in London, there was Tibbs, and he was there for many years. But apparently he got to become 23 pounds in weight. He was so big because everybody brought him in treats. I know, this is the thing, isn't it? Now, over in Paddington, the lady that I spoke to, that had worked there many, many years starting out as a young girl, she said that they had a cat from 1970 to 1983 called Tiddles. Now, did you ever meet Tiddles when you came in and out of Paddington? Apparently he manned the ladies' waiting room. Yes, you see, all happens there, doesn't it? And he was just incredibly famous. But as she pointed out, and I thought this is so true, in fact, she said, you see, nowadays we'd have, you know, Instagram and social media and people taking pictures of themselves with Tiddles. She said, but he was famous to all the passengers that came through. And she said he was there from the moment that the waiting room opened in the morning till it closed at night. And basically, she said, if you tried to get past him, you know, without a sort of a treat as such, or maybe even just recognition, well, you know, there was a bit of a sort of darker purring. And I said, no. And she said, no, really, he was, you know, was that much in control. So I throw it open to you. Did you have a pet in your local area that perhaps you always went past and he was sat in the window, might have been the ironmonger or you know, the greengrocer or something like that, and you knew them and he was kind of famous in your area but not necessarily anywhere else? And funny to think, isn't it, that in this today's society they would be world famous because, well, people would be taking pictures. Up in Huddersfield in West Yorkshire, they had a railway cat, and there's many of those, so much so they even wrote books about it. Yes, I wonder where they got the idea for that from. Larry the Downing Street cat? Oh, I don't know. The Downing Street cat? I don't know. Where do you think? Let me know, of course, in the comments below. And of course, please, if you can, like and share. Neil Shaw, Kensington, London.